I'm making this video today for fathers out there who want to raise independent, happy, and successful children. So if that's you, stick around. You see, the one thing that most of us parents kind of fail to do when we're raising our children because we love them so much, it's not because we don't love them, it's because we do love them. And what we wind up doing is we wind up doing almost everything for them. We make their food, we clean their rooms, we do their laundry, we help them with their homework, and we basically enable them to become crappy people. And I'm not trying to pick on anybody in particular. I mean, we all have done it at some point or another. My parents did it, and every parent tends to do it. I call it loving your children to death. Basically, by doing everything for them, you're taking away their ability to do anything for themselves. So why am I the right person to make this video, and why should you watch this one? Well, you see, I'm a dad, and I like to think I'm a great dad. Maybe I'm not a great dad, but I'm a dad, and I definitely give it my best. And I had a lot of really great mentors growing up, and I had a wonderful father growing up who made me want to be a wonderful father myself. So I spent a lot of time researching this stuff and reading about it over the years, and I've been a father now for 15 years. So I want to impart a little bit of knowledge onto you guys. You see, every moment in life is a moment where we can teach. And my channel is all about learn, do, teach. And as a father, we have to learn things when we're growing up, and then we have to start doing those things to take care of ourselves in life. And then when we have children, we need to teach our children how to do those same things. You know, this brings me back to a couple stories, and one of them is my daughter, who is now 15 years old, and she basically could live her life completely without me at this point, not that I want her to, and she still loves talking to me. We have a great relationship, but she doesn't need me for very many things. And this all started when she was, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years old, and she asked me to make her some eggs. And this time I thought to myself, well, I think this time I'm going to teach you how to make an egg because I can't keep getting up and making you an egg 4 times a day. So I asked her if she wanted to learn how to make an egg, and she did. So she came into the kitchen with me. I taught her how to crack the shell and how to split it, and of course she got some shell in the egg the first time. I mean, who doesn't? So I showed her that with a spoon you could just scoop that shell out and toss it off to the side. But then again, she also burned the egg, and she broke the yolk. So I taught her how to make scrambled eggs, and we threw some cheese in, and she loved it. Sure, they tasted a little burned, and you could smell that throughout the house, as I'm sure you can right now, but it was worth every moment. And from then on, it was, you can make your own egg as long as I'm in the kitchen with you. By the way, that was after she burned herself at least one time, despite the warnings that Dad had given her. But that one burn taught her a lesson that I think she's going to carry with her for the rest of her life. And after that, she started cooking eggs as long as I was home. And now she's allowed to cook when I'm not home, because she's learned what to do and what not to do, and she's learned how to make food for herself and how to take care of herself, and she knows how to use a fire extinguisher, and she knows how not to get burned, and she can clean up the pans after herself, and she can throw away her trash, and she can eat whatever she wants. I handed that to her through that moment, that teaching moment, and now for the rest of her life she will never need me to have an egg. Now that doesn't mean I can't make eggs for my daughter anymore. It doesn't mean that I don't still do things for my kids. It just means that they don't need me for those things. Next, let's talk about my son. My oldest son, he's 13, he's almost 14 years old, and he's gotten into doing videos of his own on video games and things like that for his friends. And at first, he would come to me and ask me if I could show him how to edit a video or edit a video with him and help him get a video done so that he can send it out to his friends. And so I pretty quickly caught on to the fact that he needed me to do something, and I asked him if he would like to learn to edit his own video. And over the next, I don't know, couple days, maybe a week, we spent about an hour at a time just talking about video editing, and I would sit him down at the computer and I would tell him what to do. And now he has my computer like 80% of the time doing his own videos. You see, he no longer needs me to edit his videos because now he can do it for himself. I mean, it's kind of proof in the pudding right there. Now that doesn't mean he doesn't come to me and still talk to me sometimes and ask me about video editing, ask me to teach him something else, or bring something to my attention that he's learned about but doesn't know how to do yet, and he needs someone to help him learn how to do it. And that's something that I can still assist him with. And then I have my youngest, and man, the things that boy has learned how to do by 9 years old. I mean, he just turned 10, but before he was even 9, he was working on cars, and he was fixing electronics, and he even helped me fix a cell phone where we had to replace the screen. And he's gotten very good at these things. And he hasn't started doing all of them without me yet, But we're on that track, of him doing them without me. And that's okay because I want them to learn. I want them to do. And then I want them to grow up and I want them to teach their own children something amazing. I got one more story for you, okay? This one's more of a story than like a how-to or a here's some data for you. About 6 years ago, my kids and me, we were having a rough day. It was, I think it was fall in Florida, and things just weren't going well, and so we decided to take a beach trip. And we live in the middle of the state of Florida, so a beach trip is several hours away for us. So we stopped and we got some shrimp, and we got live shrimp, and the kids were sitting there with the bucket, and we had a battery-powered air pump, and the kids are in the car with the shrimp, and they're having all this fun, and they want to know if they can pick them up. Every time one of them flips, they freak out and drop them back in the bucket, and I wind up hooking their shrimp for them, and then I teach them how to hook their shrimp. So by the time we get done, they're done hooking all their own shrimp. But that's not really what this story is about. What the story is really about is one of my kids walked into the water and got knocked over by a wave, and it was the youngest, and he started to get washed out with the current as the wave receded, and he was panicking. I had to swim out and get him. I was freaking out. If he had gone underwater, I probably never would have found him. It was the beach. The shore was churning with waves. There was sand and stuff in the water. There was bubbles. There's foam everywhere. But I found him and I got him and I brought him out of the water. And it was right after that that I taught that boy how to swim to the side when he gets caught in a current. I'm sure I had mentioned it to him before in his life because I'm really big on that stuff since my dad was really big on it. But it just wasn't sinking into his head. And so now every time we go to a place like the beach, I remind my children of the dangers of where we're going and what to do in the event that they run into danger. If they see an alligator in the water that they're in, if they see a baby alligator in the water that they're in, if they find a rattlesnake, if they get caught in a current, if they fall into an alligator hole, wherever we may be, there are going to be dangers because we live in the state of Florida and this place is full of danger. If we're just out camping, then they need to know about all the West Nile virus and Zika virus and encephalitis and all these other things that can come from getting chewed up and bit up by mosquitoes. And now they remind me about these things when we go. They remind each other about these things when we go. And that is really the successful side of parenthood and of fatherhood, is making yourself obsolete so that when you go to the beach, you don't have to remind your children. So that when they need an egg, you don't have to cook it for them. So that when they want to make a video for their friends, you don't have to do the editing. And so when they want to fix a go-kart or a dirt bike or an electronic toy like a remote control car or a cell phone, you don't have to be the one that does it for them because you can teach them to do it for themselves. And that's really the ultimate goal of fatherhood. Success in fatherhood is your children being able to do everything without you, but still they come to you anyway. Now my kids come to me, and instead of asking me to do things for them, they come to me to talk to me. They come to me to talk to me about their life, about their day, about how things are going, and I am so blessed to have a good relationship with my children. And I don't think I could have that relationship with them if I was constantly doing their laundry and cleaning their room and cooking every single meal that they want during the day. Those are things that I just can't do and have time to talk to them too. So teach your kids how to do things on their own so that they can be successful, and then they'll love you and they'll want to spend time with you. I mean, unless you're a real jerk, which I hope you're not, because you obviously love your kids or you wouldn't be at this point in the video. I mean, come on, this video is probably going to get like 20 views, which means I'm putting this out because I really care. I'm not putting this out because it's going to make me like famous on YouTube or something, because this is not a video that's going to blow up on my channel. But I do hope it gets to a couple people that it makes a difference for. And if you're not successful, if you do everything for your children, then someday you won't be there anymore. And when you're not there anymore, they won't be able to get anything. They won't be able to have eggs. They won't know what to do when they go swimming. They won't be able to edit their own video. They won't be able to fix dirt bikes, go-karts, cars, TVs, VCRs, remote control cars, or anything. So be a great parent and make yourself obsolete. You'll be glad you did. That's the official gobbledygook. Like, subscribe, do all that other stuff, and make sure you go out there and learn something, do something, and teach something. And in this instance, learn something, do something, and teach your kids. Ta-ta for now. You know, my dad did a great job, and when I lost him, I wasn't ready to lose him, but he did a pretty good job because I didn't do so bad.